What's going on, guys? Jar here, back with another video. As you can see, I'm in a different location. That's because I'm traveling right now, but still gonna make this video for you guys and basically breaking down how this Shopify brand prints 145K per day. And yeah, let's get straight into it. So the brand that we're talking about today is BASED BODYWORKS. And if you haven't been living under a rock, they have been popping up on TikTok, more so TikTok Shop and really TikTok Organic as a whole. And essentially they sell hair products and men's body products, right? And essentially, just to give you some background, the reason why they are doing so well is because one, there's two very sharp and smart founders, right? And what I mean that is typically when people seek to found a brand, right? Essentially they have the same skill sets and either one of them is redundant, right? And essentially with this, we can see that, with these two founders, right? Just looking at one of the guys, Alan Carr's LinkedIn, we can see that he has some agency experience and basically he has some digital marketing expertise in his background. And Lance was more so of the creator and the face of the brand, and more so he had an online social presence, had a YouTube channel, had a personal brand, and as you can see here, he was getting millions of views, hundreds of thousands of views, and he was deeply embedded within the niche, and he was getting that same on short form social as well. And so it was just great synergy all around. And basically, I'll just showcase how to replicate that. So really what it comes down to is, number one, you have to have a great product, right? Before you market anything, you need to have the product, as the foundation. But that begs the question, how do they, survive in this marketplace when hair products are so saturated, right? When you look at all the CPG brands, and you look at all the hair products or grooming brands, right? They're pretty much monopolized by Procter & Gamble, right? And if you guys don't know who Procter & Gamble are, they essentially own the monopoly on all CPG products when it comes to, the major brands that you hear about. They own, the Miracle Curls, they own Pantene, Head and Shoulders, Old Spice, Olay, Downy, Tide, Gain, all these brands and household brands that we know and love, they own all of them. So, this is really a testament to how good their product is and how good their marketing is when it comes to, paid social. This is just a further breakdown, further highlighting the fact of Procter & Gamble's market share at a global level. And this is out of the whole entire market. And for them to consume that big of a percentage of the entire market is pretty telling. And then even if you go on Amazon, this is just searching up conditioner, right? There's so much competition within Amazon. And for them to actually make a dent in that overall market share is really telling. So the question now is, how do they manage to succeed in this saturated marketplace? And really that just comes down to positioning, right? So when I talk about positioning, it's very important that I reference, the book called Positioning by Al Ries and Jack Trout. And essentially in that book, it essentially breaks down, how to position your business in a way to succeed and stand out in a marketplace, right? And then also utilizing the stages of market awareness and market sophistication through Eugene Schwartz and breakthrough advertising. And really, he was really marketing this brand BASED BODYWORKS at a stage 5 market sophistication and stage 4 market sophistication, in the sense that they have a superior product and they're targeting a specific niche / identity, right? So here's a quote from Positioning, and basically the most crucial and easiest way to win the battle for the mind is to be the first mover in a new category. And that just goes to show, although they have a monopoly, right, and hair products and such are very saturated, nobody really appeals to this Gen Z consumer base, you know what I mean, who really has an underserved audience, right? So nobody really appeals to them. And so they were kind of the first brand that did so. And essentially, they just targeted and positioned to Gen Z males, right? So it's very important when positioning, you identify your brand's personality. So just taking a look at some gym brands, for example, here we have ASRV, we have Young LA, we have Breathe Divinity, we have Aloe, and just off the Instagram pages, just from this screenshot, you can see the different personalities and the different target audiences that they're going after. And that's really how you want to position your brand in that aspect, right? So this just goes to show, right? Further example, when people are searching up products, right? If I'm a Gen Z, male that BASED BODYWORKS is targeting, do any of these products, target or tailor to me? And the answer is 9 times out of 10 no, right? And that's why they're succeeded the way that they're succeeding, right? So everything is ruthlessly consistent. When it comes to branding and websites, right? Overall, it's really tailored to this idea of positioning to Gen Z males, right? And like I said, if you go here, nothing is really, positioned towards that, right? You have all this like woman, female centric branding and minimalism and all these colors and fonts, right? But it doesn't really tie to the aesthetic and the overall positioning of the ideal customer, right? And like I said, it's congruent and consistent across all their touch points, from their logo to their website, right? Even to their content strategy and influencer strategy. Like, as you can see, if I was, shopping for hair products, I'll probably buy from this brand because I see a lot of people who look like me, who are in my age group and, who are seeing results from this product, right? Now, that just comes down to fundamentals and packaging / presentation. Like I said, like, if you were just to look at a brand, right, just off packaging and presentation, which one would you most likely buy from, given your experience and whatnot, right? Would you rather buy from this brand that sells can too, right? Or would you rather buy from this brand that sells like this basic, shampoo that you probably see in like a drugstore or, Walmart or such? Or would you rather buy from Based, which has clean, aesthetic, minimal branding, Just off the packaging and presentation standpoint as well, they went on that aspect. So it's very important that we have all the fundamentals covered and all the bases covered for that to work. And then moving on to the actual distribution side of things, now that they have a good product and good positioning with their product, the way they actually, dominate on paid social is as follows, right? So currently they're not running any active meta ads. And my hypothesis on that is they haven't found a reliable way to have a justifiable customer acquisition cost, in the sense that, their products are, low. The products are low margin. You feel me? Like, they're $20, $20, $24, $24, $20. It's very hard to compete on that aspect. Let me charge my laptop real quick. And then, so that really shows why they're strong on TikTok Shop, right? So on TikTok Shop, you can really make it work with these low price points because, the customer acquisition cost isn't as high as compared to Meta, right? So you can make it work. You can get away with $30 AOVs, $15 AOVs, $46 AOVs, $19 AOVs, whereas on Meta, you can't get away with that because your cost per acquisition is most likely going to be in that $30 to $50 range. You know what I'm saying? So really, they've been leveraging TikTok Shop, and as you can see, they've been moving very large amounts of volume, 440K sold, 189K sold, 98K sold, 135K sold, etc., etc. And as you can see, they just have a very strong TikTok Shop and TikTok presence as a whole, right? So when it comes to their actual TikTok strategy and content, they push, kind of content out from different perspectives. So one is their founder, right? So with him being a creator-led founder, he has his own platform where he gets hundreds of thousands of views to millions of views on some of the posts, where he can leverage his audience to really push the brand even further. And then he has an army of affiliates, right, that output UGC content at mass scale, so that they can really push organic distribution on that side as well. And then they also have a TikTok account where they go live 24/7, and essentially they just have this running, and this flywheel really helps them dominate on TikTok Shop, which is where their ideal customer profile is, and that just really allows them to take over TikTok completely. Right now, TikTok, right, serves as a halo effect towards Amazon because Amazon is a better shopping experience, right? And essentially, these are all people who've heard about the brand either on TikTok or other social medias. But basically, this is a halo effect. Like, you're not going to drive any, net new visitors really off of Amazon, but it's more so demand capture in that sense, right? So it's having that TikTok halo effect. And yeah, just even looking at the products, you can see how clean and minimal they look. And this is the actual shop app. And this also has a, downstream effect, halo effect from TikTok, as this is driving a lot of awareness and net new visitors. And then these channels are more so demand capture in the sense that people are already aware of the brand. They're just looking to purchase it either again or for the first time. Right now, the next steps to even scale this even further is to push the AOV via like bundles, in-cart upsells, things of that nature to really boost the AOV to make the overall allowable CAC more justifiable on meta side of things. And they already kind of do this here by pushing, these complete kits, which is good, right? But more so really focusing on creatives and offers on that aspect of things to really find a hero acquisition offer that can really scale them. And yeah, just really continue to add, more of those bundles that they kind of implemented here. Really add post-purchase upsells and even in-cart upsells, because they don't have any option for in-cart upsells as well. And then really the real roadmap and blueprint for this to success is really just to land wholesale accounts. You can get $1 million wholesale accounts and $1 million purchase orders just from even Costco, Target, Walmart, etc. And I'm sure they're already in talks and cahoots with some of these guys, but really just landing in that overall retail presence will overall help them cement their brand. But yeah, and then just expand to international markets. But yeah, this is basically how Base does 145K each and every day. If you guys want me to break down your brand and how you can get to even 5-10K a day, then make sure to apply in the link down in the description. Until then, my name's Jar, and see ya.